6 things to know about proposed H2A reforms. Here are the 8 key updates. Number 1. Staggering worker arrivals. Under current rules, the Department of Labor doesn't like employers to stagger worker arrivals by more than a couple of weeks. If growers delay worker arrivals over a longer period of time, it requires filing separate job orders, H2A applications. This adds paperwork and expense. The proposed rule change would allow employers to receive workers when they need them for up to 120 days after the first group of workers arrive. This extra 120 days will help a lot of people who need to stagger worker arrivals and minimize the number of job orders, Scott says. Number 2. Eliminates the 50% rule. Under the current rules, growers must offer any able-bodied and willing U.S. worker a job if they seek employment until the halfway point, 50%, of the H2A contract. The proposed change would require employers to offer jobs to U.S. workers during the first 30 days of the contract. If a grower needs more people, he can hire more people, Scott says, but they would not be forced to offer these positions after 30 days. Number 3. Adding workers. Currently, growers have to estimate how many workers they think they will need several months out when applying for an H2A job order. What if the farm has a bumper crop or the farmer picks up a new field or grove and needs more help? Scott asks. As the rules are today, the grower would have to file a new job order with a 90 to 120 day lead time. The rule change would allow growers to bring in more workers at any time during the season, provided they can prove they need the workers. Adding new worksites. Under current rules, employers must provide the addresses where the workers will be working. The proposed rule change will allow the employer to add new worksites to the original job order without filing a new application. Number 4. 2 new program sectors. Reforestation and pine straw collection would move from the H2B program into the H2A program. This is being done more for the benefit of the H2B program, because its number of available visas are capped and have not been updated since the program was created. There was a temporary bump in visas this year, but it really is only a band-aid fix and does not resolve the problem, Scott says. Moving these quasi-agricultural sectors into the H2A program, which has no cap, will free up a significant amount of H2B visas. Number 5. Streamlined and simplified. The change would move some documentation from paper to digital, online filing. It also would allow for e-signatures. Allows more market-based wage rates. Currently, H2A wages are set in states, or clusters of states, based on surveys conducted by USDA's National AG Statistics Service. With this data, the DOL establishes the adverse effect wage rate in those states or clusters of states. These wage rates are set and are the same for all jobs being conducted on the farm, Scott says. That doesn't always make sense, considering the different types of work on the farm. A person doing hand harvesting is a different job than someone operating a sophisticated, very expensive piece of harvesting equipment. The change would allow for more market-based wages to be applied to the type of job being done on the farm. Number 6. Expands the area of intended employment. The current norm is that applications list an area of intended employment, which is basically a 60-mile radius from where the farm is based. The worker is intended to work within this area. In some cases, this is perfectly fine, Scott says. But, for instance, citrus growers might have workers traveling all over the place. The rule change would allow workers to travel reasonable distances beyond the 60-mile radius without the need to file a separate job order.